All right, y'all, we are back with another video. I definitely had to bring y'all this because here go these Democrats again. I'm telling you, every single day, they try to find a way to just go after President Trump. So now we got the seditious six. And now Mark Kelly is one of the main ones that pretty much was telling troops to refuse President Trump's order, knowing good well you cannot do that. Telling our military to not listen to President Trump. If President Trump telling you to do something illegally, don't do it. Like, what is wrong with these people? Like, did they feel like, because they Democrats, that they can get away with anything? And you still got other Democrats right now that's agreeing with what Mark Kelly's saying, knowing good well you do not supposed to tell the military to not listen to President Trump. And President Trump just snapped. He losing his mind. He called for all six of these Democrats to be jailed. But Mark Kelly is definitely the main one. And he acting like it ain't a care in the world, like he ain't worried about nothing. But when you do stuff like that, man, that is just insane. That is just going too far. Then he making a video talking about, I'm not scared of Donald Trump. I pretty much saying he can say whatever he want, knowing good well you do not supposed to do that. So we got a good bit to get to. So please hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. And shout out to the one that always watches the entire video. I appreciate all of you that do that, man. It helps me out a ton. When you let me know in the comment section that you did watch the entire video. So I want to make sure I get President Trump's message out there. And so I appreciate everybody who lets me know in the comment section, say, Adogg, I did stay to the end and you did hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. That way you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. But let's go ahead and dive straight into this. Like I said, we definitely got to talk about this. So look at the Red Wave press right here. He said breaking. The FBI has reached out to the Capitol Police to set up interviews with the seditious six Democrat senators who urged U.S. troops to ignore President Trump's orders. So let's look at this video. This is the video that they made, pretty much telling our troops to not listen to President Trump. Check it out. Absolutely insane. Telling our U.S. troops to pretty much don't listen to President Trump. So here's the thing, though. So you're going to try to get the troops to mess up what they got going on, what they worked their entire life for, to listen to y'all, these top six Democrats? Is y'all going to take care of them? No, y'all not. Y'all going to forget about their name. Y'all going to forget everything about a person if they was to listen to what y'all saying and not listen to President Trump's order. Knowing good well you cannot do this, making a video, especially when you are senators, making a video. Then it's not only that you're doing it, you're making it political. All because y'all hate Donald Trump. All because y'all don't like him is the reason y'all did this. It just don't make any sense at all. And President Trump is not playing around with none of them. Now, before we get to what President Trump said, look at this right here by Nick Sorter. It's a major breaking. The Department of War is considering recalling Democrat Senator Mark Kelly to active duty to be a court martial for telling troops to refuse President Trump's order, mess around, F around and find out. It said that the statement from DOW, Department of War, the Department of War has received serious allegations of misconduct against Captain Mark Kelly, USN, in accordance with the Uniform Code of Military Justice 10 U.S.C. 688 and other applicable regulation and thorough review of these allegations have been initiated to determine further action, which may include recall to active duty for court, martial proceedings, or administrative measures. Like, Mark Kelly is just stupid, man. Like, why would y'all make a video? Then it's six of y'all. Why would y'all make a video telling the troops to refuse President Trump's order? Why would you do that? It just go to show you that they don't care about the military at all. And then that's why you see it say that Top Dem is facing military trial after seditious conspiracy. Just don't make any sense. Now, this is what President Trump said right here on Truth Social. He said, the traitors that told the military to disobey my orders should be in jail right now, not roaming the fake news networks trying to explain that what they said was okay. It wasn't and never will be. It was sedition at the highest level, and sedition is a major crime. There can be no other interpretation of what they said. This is coming from President Trump. He also said, many great legal scholars agree that the Democrat traitors that told the military to disobey my orders as president have committed a crime. Of serious proportion. And y'all get in the comments say, let me know what y'all think about the seditious six that pretty much made a little almost 2-minute video telling the U.S. troops to disobey President Trump's orders. I mean, my God, even a guy off social media had to, get on camera and just pretty much just say how wrong these Democrats is.
When you and your colleagues made that video, were there specific, potentially illegal orders that you were thinking about that were the sort of precipitating cause for you guys to get together and do that?
Here's the thing, Rachel. You don't want to wait for your kid to get hit by a car before you tell them to look both ways.
We've crossed a line in this country that cannot be ignored. We have sitting U.S. elected officials, including Senator Mark Kelly, now telling troops that they can refuse illegal orders. I mean, it sounds reasonable until you realize no legal order has been given. Everyone knows that. This isn't about the law. This is about planting seeds of doubt. It's a Trojan horse slipped into the minds of the one group of Americans who cannot afford to doubt for even 1 second, our military. I mean, you get our troops questioning their chain of command, questioning their commander-in-chief, questioning the oath that they swore to. And you're not just playing with politics, you're injecting anarchy into the ranks. And that goes against everything the American way stands for. Let me say this directly to anyone wearing the uniform. Do not listen to these politicians. If even one of you follows what they're attempting to do, your life's going to be the one that burns down, not theirs. You'll lose your rank, your career, your benefits, your retirement, everything you worked for. And not one single politician will stand beside you when the consequences hit. They will forget your name before the ink dries on your paperwork. I think we should be thankful that Mark Kelly isn't in uniform anymore. And we should thank God that he wasn't the aircraft commander of the Enola Gay in 1945, because a man this confused about duty and responsibility would have never had the conviction to help end a world war and save American lives. This very moment isn't exposing a people problem. It is exposing a leadership problem. Leaders who are so disconnected and so desperate and so entitled that they believe they're above consequences and they believe you won't hold them accountable. It's time to put people over parties. It's time to put the Constitution over convenience. And it's time to call this out for what it is. Go see all my comments over on my new Substack that's out now.
Absolutely crazy, man. So by Eric Dollar, it said, breaking in a huge F around and find out moment, the FBI is setting up interviews with the seditious 6 Democrats who demanded the military and CIA rebel against President Trump. Both the Pentagon and FBI are all over this. These Democrats have cooked themselves. Now follow through and hold them accountable. So salute to Cash Patel. And these are the 6 Democrats right here that made that video saying this. And you see Mark Kelly in the middle. So they say Mark Kelly is the one that came up with this whole scenario to do this. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. I mean, even Jesse Waters has something to say about this. And Patrick Bet-David said that the seditious 6 told our troops to revolt against the president. Let's check out what they said.
I think normally they think they can get away with comments like this until they face a guy named President Donald Trump, who sued and won money against George Stephanopoulos, YouTube, Twitter. How many other companies you want me to talk about that? He won so many different lawsuits, about to go after BBC. They don't realize they're going after somebody that's probably going to hold them accountable. And Mark Kelly, obviously, thank you for his service. He wrote a long tweet today. It's very obvious he's writing the tweet in response to say, here's my resume. I'm sorry I said this. Don't come after me. I'm a very important patriot. I love America.
Exactly. So he trying to seem like he's trying to apologize, but what the use of an apology if you still left the video up? Because here's the thing. This is the internet, man. This is the internet. You got to realize when you're a senator, Democrat, president, whatever you is, as soon as you make a post, It's on the internet forever because somebody's going to copy it, somebody's going to screenshot it, and somebody's going to repost it. So as soon as you post it, it's over with. No matter how fast you take it down, as soon as you post it, somebody else already done took that screenshot. And that video is still up. So his apologies don't mean anything. It's too late. President Trump said, I want you jailed.
He wrote a long tweet today. It's very obvious he's writing the tweet in response to say, here's my resume. I'm sorry I said this. Don't come after me. I'm a very important patriot. I love America. And on the other side, Hexet is like, you already crossed the line with the comments here. Just go read history with what happens with this. They crossed the line, and I highly doubt this administration is going to let this one go.
They're not. President Trump already said he's not going to let that go. And let's check out a little bit more from the 5 on this.
Sort of wanted her to keep talking by 0.3 of a percentage point in Michigan, by 19,000 votes out of 5 million cast. And she speaks like this: I want the people of Michigan, Arizona to know their senators.
Condition the country to prepare for something bad that's about to happen at the hands of Donald Trump. It's straight out of the CIA playbook. It's a destabilization operation where you get people to mistrust each other. And you do this because she's an analyst. And as an analyst, she would make sure what propaganda operations were successful, which ones weren't. So she knows what works. So the first part of the video, you establish authority. I'm CIA, I'm military, you need to trust us. Second part of the video, they introduce the threat. And the threat's not foreign, the threat's domestic, the threat's Donald Trump. And then at the end, they introduce the solution. What's the solution? You resist, you say no. But they don't give an option. They say this is an obligation for you to do. Now, she is being run because she didn't come up with this herself. She's a Brennan acolyte, and you usually don't have congressmen and senators doing anything together. They kind of hate each other. So in order to organize this had to have had some sort of handler telling her what to do. And it was risky because nothing like this has ever been done in the history of the country.
This
and you can
crazy.
even tell because the media was skeptical and they couldn't answer the question. So they hadn't even been read in on the operation. You see them fumbling and stumbling. And I'm glad that the U.S. military is now investigating this guy, Kelly, because this is what we expect from Donald Trump 2.0. You can't have the deep state interfering with a duly elected presidency and get away with it. You got to draw the line in the sand, and you have to make examples out of people.
And that's exactly right. Jesse Waters is right. You got to make examples out of people so stuff like this don't happen no more. Like, how can they not think this through, especially Mark Kelly, coming from his background, and he knew that right there was wrong and did it anyway, all because your hate of one man. All because you hate him. You would tell the military, would tell the troops to disobey President Trump's orders. I mean, just absolutely insane, man. Absolutely insane. Now, let's check out what Pete Hegseth said, because Pete Hegseth, I mean, he was not playing around. So by Pete Hegseth, he said, the video made by the seditious six was despicable, reckless, and false. Encouraging our warriors to ignore the orders of their commanders undermines every aspect of good order and discipline. Their foolish screed sows doubt and confusion, which only puts our warriors in danger. 5 of the 6 individuals in that video do not fall under the Department of War jurisdiction. 1 is CIA and 4 are former military, but not retired, so they are no longer subject to CJMJ. However, Mark Kelly, retired Naval commander, is still subject to UCMJ, and he knows that. As we announced, the department is reviewing his statements and action, which were addressed directly to all troops while explicitly using his rank and service affiliation, lending the appearance of authority to his words. Kelly's conduct brings discredit upon the armed forces and will be addressed appropriately. So, as you can see, Mark Kelly using his rank, what he did, and trying to encourage them to disobey President Trump. Boy, I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. It's like I said before, it's like every day. It was the government shutdown. Then they ran to the Epstein list. And as soon as they found out that, Hakeem Jeffrey was taking money from having dinner with Jeffrey Epstein, now they didn't got off that. Now it's over to, telling the U.S. troops to, disobey President Trump's order. Oh, man, just absolutely insane. But let's check out what Scott Jennings said, because this Scott Jennings, stunned CNN host, who is worried the FBI and Pentagon investigating the 6 seditious Democrats who demanded rebellion from the military is a slippery slope towards weaponization. Let's check it out.
Perhaps it goes farther than he often does.
An administration investigating members of Congress? Are you describing Operation Arctic Frost to me, or are we talking about current events? I hear you.
I'm talking about a video, Scott,
Okay.
right? Like, you
So
put a
you're
video
defending
out.
Arctic Frost now?
Okay.
Defending it? No, I'm saying, she said that power changes hands, and I assume what you meant was that you shudder to think what would happen when
No, I
Democrats
mean
took
that
power.
if
They already
Democrats
have
are in
power.
power and there are Republicans
That's
who are
like-
making political videos, right? Are they
Look,
going to use the FBI to investigate them too, right?
Here's what I think.
What?
Here's what I think. Plenty of Republicans are outraged about this. This video was clearly designed to try to create a narrative among the American people that the president had been or was about to give illegal orders. And it appears to me that it all has to do with what he's doing with Venezuela. That seems to be what they're mad about, although they did ask Alyssa Slotkin on TV, and she cited a Hollywood movie to rationalize or justify what she had done. I don't know what the truth is about these interviews, and I don't know if they'll ever be compelled to do it or not. But I do know whether Republicans are circumspect about the law enforcement angle here. Most Republicans I know are pretty darn angry that Democrats made an irresponsible public statement trying to tell the American people that the commander-in-chief had been or was about to give illegal orders.
I'm making a distinction between the creation of the video and whether Republicans are mad about that or think that it was a bad idea, and the idea that the president of the United States is going to
It ain't no thinking about it. It was a bad idea. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Let Joe Biden would have been in office, and then Republican would have made that same type of video. You will see Hakeem Jeffries, Jasmine Crockett, AOC, Chuck. You will see all of them talking about this right now. So it's like, come on, that definitely was a bad idea.
use the Pentagon and the FBI to go after sitting members of Congress for basically talking.
Well, I agree with you. Some Republicans have been circumspect about that. Others that I've heard say, you know, if there's something here, it ought to be looked into. But I'm going to give you the political analysis, which is most Republicans that I've heard from on this and hear about on it are very, very angry that these Democrats did something this irresponsible.
Can I move away?
Yeah, it definitely was. You know, even, Caroline Leavitt, had spoke on this. Said that Caroline Leavitt calls the Democrats who told service members to disobey President Trump the seditious six, destroys them.
Because there is no answer. They can't identify illegal orders because there are no illegal orders. But they were suggesting, again, to the 1.3 million active duty service members in the military today that if you think an order is illegal, you don't have to follow it. Actually, that's against the Uniform Code of Military Justice. It explicitly states, and I want to read this language precisely, that service members have a legal obligation under the U.S. UCMJ to obey lawful orders, and that orders are presumed to be lawful. You can't have a soldier out on the battlefield or conducting a classified order questioning whether that order is lawful or whether they should follow through. There must be a chain of command in our military, and Republicans and Democrats for decades, since the beginning of our country, have always respected that until now when the Democrat Party has been completely overtaken by Trump derangement syndrome. And now we have these deranged statements from sitting members of Congress.
And that's definitely right. It's just like now they might well just open up a Trump derangement clinic. Like I said, you'll have all of them in Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, that balloon head Adam Schiff, watermelon head, no C's in it Adam Schiff. All of them are be up in the Trump derangement clinic. Just don't make any sense at all. And like I said, here go Fox Business. They even had to chime in on this.
Interesting. Let's welcome to the show U.S. Army Special Forces veteran Jim Hansen. Jim, I wonder if Senator Slotkin knows that A Few Good Men was a fictional story. What say you?
I'm shocked. I was unaware as well. These people knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Using the credibility of their offices and their previous experience in the military or the intelligence community to try and convince some poor soul who's currently serving to throw away their career pretending that President Trump had issued an illegal order. Now, in that video, they weren't talking if you get an illegal order. They said things like, you must disobey illegal orders.
Yep.
You know, the threat is domestic, no longer foreign. You must be brave, those kind of things. They were not talking about the future. They were trying to suborn sedition, and now they're being held accountable.
You know, Jim, it feels like this could backfire big time on Democrats.
And you heard what I think this was real about J.D. Vance say, if the president hasn't issued illegal orders, them members of Congress telling the military to defy the president is by definition illegal.
It's like this could backfire big time on Democrats.
I think it already has. Any normal person knows what they were trying to do, and now out of them, you know, they're all under the potential penalty of U.S. code that says you are not allowed to undermine good order and discipline in the military. But Senator Mark Kelly's a retired officer. He's still bound by the Uniform Code of Military Justice, which has much more stringent rules, and he could be held accountable for that. Pete Hegseth put out a tweet today saying that he might open an investigation and bring him in and call him on the carpet for that.
Yeah, would you think that appropriate?
I think it's absolutely appropriate because that's what they were trying to do. They were undermining the commander-in-chief. They wanted to cause a problem for President Trump to be able to execute the lawful orders. And holding them accountable for that right now will tell other people not to do the same.
Exactly. It'll tell people not to do the same. And that's why I say something has to be done. They need to be jailed for this. That's the only way it's going to stop, because if nothing comes out of this and they don't go to jail or get some type of punishment, they're going to do it again because they feel like nothing is going to happen. So hopefully something is going to happen because, like I said, President Trump is pissed off about this. Now, I want y'all to check out what this guy, he even said, you know, about what they did.
I'm going to make it very clear. And this goes to you, Senator Mark Kelly, and all you treasonous individuals that want to side with him and try to plant the seed of doubt into our military men's mind. If you try to undermine the power of the president, you should be arrested for treason. We do not need and cannot afford in this country people to undermine hundreds of years of tradition of our U.S. military taking orders from the executive branch, our president. It is treasonous. And the fact that these people are not brought to justice it shows me how weakened this government has gotten. We should never, ever stand for undermining the military powers of the president.
Exactly. So like I said, y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this. I think this right here was absolutely wrong. They knew exactly what they was doing when they made that video, pretty much telling, you know, our troops to disobey President Trump. Don't listen to him and stuff like that, knowing you cannot do that. And Mark Kelly knows this. And that's what I had to keep harping on. Like, he knows what he did was wrong, and then you make a video talking about you don't care because you feel like nothing is going to happen to you. Well, we're going to find out because President Trump is snapping right now. He done lost his mind, and I don't blame him because stuff like this pisses you off. Now they done showed nothing that went too far. So like I said, y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this, and I will keep y'all up to date as more information comes out, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.